Yo, 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 this is Chris Blair. How you guys doing? I'm just sitting about once or twice a week in the evening time. I come to this little pub bar, such they typically call it izakaya, where it's like a bar restaurant. They have all sorts of little dishes, and it's really good food. It's not like a typical like Western style English pub where they serve these massive dishes and the food tastes is so. These are all just small little dishes, but it's really, really good quality. In fact, Japanese people, I mean, izakaya is a staple of Japanese society, economy, and socializing, and it's great. I mean, what I love about izakayas the most is you come here and every dish is served small, so for $20 or $30 in food costs, right, you can eat many different varieties of food, which is great. I mean, this is one of the reasons why it's awesome. Okay, anyway, today I want to talk about some very common print-on-demand myths, and oh wow, someone's just messaging me. Give me 1 second, this is important. I apologize, that was quite urgent. Someone just messaged me, and actually the truth is, I had a coaching call scheduled for like 10 minutes ago, literally 10 minutes ago, and I was waiting for this person, and they didn't show. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this live stream video right now here. And then he just messaged me saying, hey, I'm here. And I said, well, you're late, so I'm on a live stream, and then I just will wait for the response. So I'm sure he's a good guy, and we're friends, so I'm sure he'll let me do it later. Hey, Paul, how you doing, buddy? I know Paul's a private coaching student of mine. I know he's been happy with it. I hope you're enjoying the working on the boat. That's awesome. All right, so, I was talking about izakaya, and I am going to get into the main topic of print-on-demand myths, but I just want to teach you guys a little about Japanese culture. So, they serve these small little dishes, and I wish I had some photos, only the alcohol. They have no photos of them. So they serve these small little dishes, and what's cool about that is that and they're cheap. Every one of them is cheap. Anywhere between $2 to it can be up to $6 or $7 depending on what you order, but per dish. But usually it's somewhere around $4 or $5, right? But for $20 or $30 in food costs, you can try a large variety of food, and that's what's great about it. And even by myself, I can do that, right? And then if I come with my friends, 2 or 3 buddies, and we share, I mean, literally, I can eat 15, 20 different dish types in one night in a meal. Whereas, if you order food in a Western restaurant, typical Western style, you get your steak, or you get your hamburger, or you get your meatloaf, or your salmon, smoked salmon, and maybe some vegetables, and that's in your salad, and that's it. Okay, so and it comes in such massive portions that you can't eat anything else, and that's just why I love about Japan and this culture of izakaya. Izakaya is like a staple of my life now, and if you ever get out to Japan, you should absolutely try it. You'll love it. Okay, so I want to get to the main topic, which is some very common POD myths. But I also just want to address something, and I'm not going to talk a long time about this because I've gone into detail on this ad nausea on my Facebook posts and several other videos. And with all due respect and feeling horrible and sad for the people who are suffering from COVID-19 and people have passed away. I've had one of my friends whose business has just collapsed. I have another, actually a friend who has a family member who passed away from COVID-19. So I feel horrible from that situation. Okay, so I'm addressing that, and yes, this really sucks, and I hope a vaccine comes and we're solved this, get out of this situation soon. But the reality is internet business is exploding. Okay, just in America alone, there's almost 20 million new internet shoppers, right, who lost their internet shopping virginity. Okay, and guys, yeah, a lot of people. Some of those people will never buy online again, but I would say at least 50% of them, if not more, will buy online again because they got the stuff, they're happy, they're pleased. So, if you just look at the PayPal, do yourself a favor, go and Google new PayPal account increase. Just Google that and start reading the articles. you're going to be blown away. Okay, so I'm really sad about what's happened, but at the same time, just like any other crisis that's happened, World War II, the financial crisis in 2018, the Great Depression, every time something like this happens, there is a shift, okay? And the shift has happened. Apparently, the number of online retail sales, according to a graph I saw, so versus the United States, this is a total, like, for example, let's just say there's 1 million purchases in a retail shop, okay? Retail business, retail, period, right? There's a lot more than that, but let's say 1 million. It used to be around like 13 or 7% of that was online. And it took from the 90s until 2020, so 30 years or so to get to that percentage. Well, now, currently, according to the economic article I read, 28% of shopping is online in the last 3 months. So literally, the last 3 months, we've seen more growth in online shopping for retail than we did in the last 20, 30 years. It did equal growth the last 20, 30 years. It's astonishing. Okay, so I'm telling you this because I want you to understand the opportunity is there. And you've got to feed your family, you've got to move on. And so the opportunity is right in front of you. It's staring you right in the face. You just have to decide you want it and you want to take it. I love doing these videos over beer, so forgive me. If you're offended by that I drink beers in these videos, then maybe you should go watch some other gurus' trainings because I'm not the right guy for you, because I'm not going to stop that. All right, so let's talk about myths. The 4 common myths, okay? So there's basically 4 models of sell-physical products, okay? There is Amazon FBA, which requires a lot of money up front to do that. I'm not saying it's a bad business model, but it's got a lot more risk as far as you have to invest in getting the product sent to Amazon's warehouse. You can also sell an affiliate on Amazon and then self-fulfill. I've never done that, so I'm not going to go into that. Okay. There is fulfillment model, which you set up your own Ecom store, and the type that I recommend is Shopify. But there's other Ecom platforms. It doesn't have to be Shopify, but I think Shopify is by far the most superior one. But that's just my opinion. You bulk ship stuff to your own house or to a warehouse, and then you fulfill from yourself. And if you fulfill yourself, it's a pain in the butt. Plus, you get the risk of the bulk shipping, and on top of it, you have cost for fulfillment center if you use a fulfillment center. So that leaves us with 2 models that are most common. Okay, 2 that most people use, and the reason, and honestly, the number one reason that most people use them is because the risk is low. The risk is low, but this is typical in Japan. You get a bottle of beer and they serve it to you in a little glass, and you little glass you're supposed to pour it in. I could drink it from the bottle, but here it's considered impolite, so I just sort of follow the local custom. Anyway, so 2 models that are most common because there's basically no upfront cost. Okay, I say basically. There is, for one version, there is a small upfront cost. Okay. All right, so that is drop shipping, which you guys know. Maybe most of you are familiar with this. Is that you go AliExpress, eBay, or some other website, or you even find a place you can drop it locally, and you make you grab one of their products and you put it on your website and start selling it, and then when order comes in, you place an order and you ship it. Okay, no upfront costs. Okay, there's tons of problems with dropshipping, and by that I'm not saying don't do dropshipping. In fact, I have 2 coaching students right now that I'm working with who are crushing with dropshipping, but there's tons of problems with dropshipping. I have years of experience in doing dropshipping, both as a seller and as a coach, trainer. So I'm able to help these students navigate those problems, and it's working. But just so you know, there's an enormous amount of pitfalls that could cause you serious fucking problems. I mean, guys, I'm sorry for screaming, but you could literally, your life could be fucked. I mean, thousands of dollars in hundreds of thousands of dollars in refunds, losing your PayPal. I mean, there's all sorts of massive, serious issues with dropshipping, okay? The upside of drop shipping is two things. One is that it's easy to come up with product ideas, right? Because you just go on the website, you grab it, and you send it in big markups, okay? But again, if you're going to do drop shipping, I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Maybe I'll make a separate video about how to avoid the pitfalls with drop shipping. But you just got to be extremely careful you do drop shipping right. And by the way, I'm not saying that to scare you from drop shipping, because drop shipping actually works and it's great. But it's just you've got to be wary and careful. Okay. All right. So now let's talk about my favorite model. And this is the model I use now. I don't do drop shipping anymore, personally. Okay. It's called print on demand. Okay. What print on demand is, I think most of you guys know, is I work with suppliers, for example, in the United States. Okay. And so what they do is suppliers in the United States will have different products on hand. T-shirts, bags, hats, leggings, canvases, tumblers, water mugs, necklaces. I mean, it is astonishing. Now, stereo equipment, dog bowls. I mean, guys, it's astonishing. The amount of stuff we can sell print on demand these days is amazing. Okay? It's absolutely amazing. Okay, guys. Literally, there's about 1,000 some products being sold, and it's growing every day. Okay, so they got this stock on hand, right? And so what we do is we use an app, and through the app, we load our design onto the product we want. We select it. We set our price that we're going to sell. They tell us how much they're going to charge us. We import it into our Shopify store through the app, and when the order comes in, this is one of the best parts about this model, is that when an order comes in, the print-on-demand supply company, through the app connection, gets all of the order data. They get everything, right? And they literally grab it off the stock, right? So if you sell a hat, they print out the hat, they send it to the customer, and bang, you don't do anything. So it's not like dropshipping where you got to contact the supplier and do all sorts of manual labor. You literally do nothing. It's beautiful. I sit back right now as I'm sitting here drinking beer, and that's the other thing, guys. When I switched my business model from dropshipping to print on demand, I was able to get rid of, and I feel bad, but I was able to. I didn't have staff that I needed, so I actually had 4 people that were no longer needed. So what I did was I'm not a jerk. I gave each one of them a month pay as a goodbye, even though they're an outsourcer. I did that as just that kind of my heart, and I also introduced them to some jobs for my mastermind students. Anyway, but the point is, I didn't need those people because I didn't need all the manual labor that's involved in dropshipping. Because with POD, it's all automated. Okay, so Chris, great. That sounds great. Well, what's the point? Okay, so let's talk about the different myths that I often said. Low margins. Okay, that's just total bullshit. It's just total bullshit. Okay, all right. So it's bullshit on so many levels. It's unreal. Okay, let me talk about why it's BS. Okay. Number one is this. First of all, there are tons of products that you can sell print on demand. Okay, there's tons of them. Some have high margins. For example, canvases, you can mark up a canvas 30, 40, 50 bucks. Okay? Now, other products like jackets in the winter, man, you can really mark those up. I sell some jackets for $100, and it's like $60 markup. Okay? So there's tons of margin. You can get tons of margin on the front end sale. Okay? But even if you're selling the low end margin stuff, which is T-shirts and mug cups, and the reason why the POD has this stigma that it's low margin is because the first print on demand items that were available to us were T-shirts and mug cups, and that this idea that print on demand is low margin comes from that, but reality has changed drastically. But there's a big thing here, and it's also short-sighted to think that. I would personally rather sell 1,000 T-shirts for after ad spend at $4 or $5 margin than sell 1,000 gadgets from China at a $20 margin after ad spend. I would rather do that. Okay? And now you're probably thinking to yourself, wait a minute, Chris, you're happy with a $5 margin for the $20? Well, are you insane? And let me tell you why. The lifetime value of a customer. Let me repeat that. The lifetime value of a customer. When you have happy customers who get their stuff in about a week, which happens in print on demand, and it's good quality, they will buy from you again. The quality of the email you list that you create is amazing. 22% of my customers are buying again within 60 days from email marketing. 22%. It's massive, guys. The earnings per click I get on email marketing is insane. Okay? So if I have a gadget coming from China, I may have made $15 more, but they're going to wait 3 to 4 weeks to get that. And also the quality is inconsistent. Okay? So what do you think the odds are that after they waited forever and it shows up and sometimes it's good, sometimes that they're going to buy from you again? Dude, the reason why I left dropshipping is when I email marketed to my list, we got complaints. We got a sale here and there, but we literally got emails back saying your company sucks. I mean, literally, absolutely ridiculing us, saying I'm not going to buy from you again. I waited 3 weeks for my product. What are you talking about? Don't mail me. Marking our mails as spam. Okay? And if you ever want to, like, for example, take your buyer list and upload it as a custom audience and advertise to them, if it's a print-on-demand list, they're going to buy from you again. If it's a dropship list, forget about it. In rare cases, I mean, there are ways to fix that, but I'm not going into that in this video. Limited number of products. I sort of mentioned that earlier. That's just not true. Okay, so I've talked about that a couple times just by talking about the other points. Absolutely not true anymore. It was true back in 2015. Hard to create. Okay, hard to create. Okay, all right. This is the one. I mean, by hard to create means hard to create and come up with winning ideas that will sell. This is the one myth that I give a little bit of merit to. Okay, yes, it is more challenging to come up with your own ideas with print on demand rather than just go grab them off AliExpress and sell them. But it's a formula, guys. It really is. It's about learning the formula. And when I teach you the formula about how to do it, you can continue to make new product ideas that make sales, okay? So, yes, it is harder to come up with those ideas, but it's all about a formula and figuring out what to do, and then once you do that, you can do it over and over again. And again, okay, I addressed this earlier a little bit when I talked about low margins, but profitability is low. And that is actually not true. In fact, I'll tell you right now, I believe that based on what I've seen, guys, I've been in this game since 2012. I did print on demand on Teespring, Represent, Viral Style. I did Shopify dropshipping. I've done Shopify print on demand. I've coached since 2014. I've worked with tons of students, and I'm telling you right now, I will stand firm right now. A well-run print on demand store is a lot more profitable than a dropshipping store. A lot more. Because it's long-term and sustainable. And it's one comes down to the lifetime value of a customer, which is a really, really important concept that most e-com sellers are not even thinking about. All right. Okay, guys, so if there's any questions, you can go ahead and type them into the chat box there. All right, there's no questions. If you're interested in my mastermind, message me. If you're just my private coaching, message me, and we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.